Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time for sports. Brought to you by the Marquee Network. Stream Cubs baseball at watchmarquee.com.
The Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
Now, the All-Star game last night, more on that in a second, so there's no Cubs baseball or White Sox baseball. But yesterday, we played the national anthem from the Home Run Derby by Ingrid Andress that went totally awry. Just a quick memory of what happened during that Monday night.
For the land of the free.
Yikes. It was rough. Well, yesterday, she made an announcement on her Instagram and posted this. I'm not going to BS y'all. I was drunk last night. I'm checking myself into a facility today to get the help I need. That was not me last night. I apologize to Major League Baseball, all the fans, and this country I love so much for that rendition. I'll let y'all know how rehab is. I hear it's super fun. XO Ingrid. Wow. Well, listen, we always encourage people to get help. It's so hard to reach out when you're in the middle of that. I've had friends, I'm sure everybody listening has had friends and family members that have had to end up in rehab or not wanting to get help, and it's worse when you wait and see what happens. It's a disaster. You have help. You have options. Even if you don't have any money, you have options to go get help, and you can always go to Q101.com for resources on all that stuff, okay?
Yeah.
That being said, this was kind of a weird statement, I thought, in a way.
Thank
Really?
you. I thought the
Did
same
you-
thing.
And I'm not,
I didn't feel that way.
and I'm not demeaning her in any way. I don't want to go that route. Did you think it that way too, Case? A little odd?
I thought the whole thing was bizarre, and it's not to say that everything stated there wasn't true.
Right.
It was just packaged in a way that seemed far too lackadaisical, for lack of a better term, far too unserious for the situation.
Yeah.
I didn't get that. I got a beaten down vibe.
Yeah.
I got think about how many people, and listen, it was bad, and I know it's funny to listen to bad. That's why American Idol did well for so long. It's oh,
It works.
Whatever. I get it. Things like that are funny, but of course, people always take it too far. It's one thing to hear that and go, oh, that doesn't sound good, and laugh. Of course, social media, things being said about her are genuinely heinous. Not here, because we're not attacking who she is as a person.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure she's a great
people are writing
person.
awful, awful, awful things. At the end of the day, think about awful things people have done in this world. She sang off key. And you don't have to apologize for singing off key. You don't, right? Whatever.
Well,
And
I think you should apologize for singing off key. If something happens, I think, hey, you know what? My bad. And she did. She's apologizing in a way of saying she was drunk.
Yeah, and I got I got a hands in the sky kind of beaten down vibe from it. But there's a lot of embarrassment. She's been literally crapped all over for over 24 hours. That's not what you anticipated happening at all, right? You think oh, she's actually just announced that her album is about to drop. She wasn't even in that mindset, and she has to go do this. And I hope that it was a blessing that this happened in a weird way, because I don't think she was anywhere near going to rehab based on all the announcements of things that were upcoming for her.
Yeah.
So maybe in a weird way it ended up being a blessing. But I got I feel like she was kind of beaten down. Even just someone's rehab's not fun. I'm well, that was sarcasm.
Yeah.
I think she feels
here's how
here we go.
Here's how I got it weird is that, we've all been backstage and seen artists go on stage, right? And she did look haggard. Me and Megan said that when she walked out. I go, wow, she looks off. So I don't even know her, but she looked rough. And we've seen artists go on stage before, and I'm not talking about Axl Rose, by the way, who was doing lines before he runs out on stage and sings for 3 hours and killed it. I can't believe that somebody didn't see her in this situation going out to sing a cappella in a mainstream event, one of her handlers, who all failed her in this situation, if it's true, that didn't say, she can't go on. She's sick. Something's wrong. If they saw her in that state, because she looked drunk, to be honest. Because listen, I've been drunk a lot. People tell me you look drunk. I'm a pretty much authority on drunk.
But you don't know that. See, I think that's also a little bit of a mistake, because that's an assumption on the circumstance. She could have been oh, I want some space beforehand. They weren't around her a lot, so they were walking out.
But so
and she was
you've
being
been
quiet or something.
I know, but you've been backstage, all these things too. There's so many people in between, us, the radio people, and the artist. Today, especially, there's the managers, there's the record people, there's the personal people that they have around. everybody let her go out there and just do it. And I know that she has the power as the artist. I just think they all failed her. Obviously, if that's the case, that's all absolutely how it went
maybe
down.
she's not super close with people on her team. Like some people are like best friends
Yeah.
and some aren't. She's a newer artist. I don't know. I don't think her PR failed her in the statement she put out, though, because I think it was honest. I think it was clear she wrote it. And I think it did express emotion just because it wasn't this eloquent letter. Most of your people aren't writing those.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So,
I think they failed her letting her go out there and sing if they knew she was drunk.
I mean, honestly, and this sounds bad, but there are a lot of artists who do kind of like you just mentioned who do perform like that. And maybe they were like, and we just found out she can't.
Yeah.
Or maybe they thought she'd be able to still do it.
What about case with you that made it think like that a little bit like weird?
I just thought the verbiage of it was odd. It was written in the same sort of Instagram story tone as you would say, like, hey, I'm going to Palm Beach on vacation, but she's going to rehab instead.
Yeah. Well, listen, I hope she gets the help she needs. She's setting herself up for an amazing comeback to do it next year or do some kind of performance somewhere. You know her next performance when she comes out of rehab is going to be the most watched thing for her ever.
I think the first thing she has to do, well, I mean, besides reconnect with family and find herself, but like after rehab and all the healing, I think the first
second thing she has to do.
I think when you're getting back into the industry in your job moment, she needs to go on SNL. She needs to be the host and the performer, have like 2 or 3 live performances that are really good, and then be able to make jokes about like that and be in recovery and show. Like I think that would be one of the best things she could do is go to SNL and be able to like. I mean, I think like they say laughing at yourself after you're already healed is one of the best forms of that and stuff.
Yeah,
I think that'd be a great thing for her.
Well, whatever it is, it's going to be huge.
She should do the home run derby next year.
Can you imagine they bring out the home run derby again?
That'd be awesome.
The amount of pressure.
Yeah. All right, we're going to get this right this time.
She'll be like Carl Lewis. She'll kind of go off on the first note. I
want to make it up to you.
If you missed that yesterday, the Carl Lewis one from like 30 years ago during a Bulls game. Oh. He was not drunk, by the way.
Say, can you see? And the Rockets, red flag.
Uh-oh.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. So before we get you on the phones for Clash with Kenzie for the Bush tickets and the $100 in Live Nation concert cash where you can use it, any Live Nation show the rest of the year, including buying more tickets for the free Bush show you're going to go to. Audio of the day. Kermit the Frog sings Gin and Juice.
My mind on my money on my mind, sipping on gin and juice. With so much drama in the LBC, it's hard being Snoop F-R-O-G-G. Raise off these nuts, cause you get none
Wait,
of
is this
these.
edited?
I don't know.
I roll through the frog pond, feel the breeze. It's 2 in the morning, and the party's still jumping, while you mother found
Thank God.
Well, there you go. Audio of the day here with Brian and Kenzie on Q101. 312-591-8300. Call right now to compete against Kenzie in trivia for those Bush tickets. You'll get $100 in Live Nation concert cash, an incredible bonus prize with the Bush tickets. Call now.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
You can't defeat her. She's too powerful.
Clash with Kenzie.
Let the battle begin.
Q101.
Well, here we go. She might get cut today if she loses today 3 in a row. Cut from the team.
What does that mean?
I go back
What
to
are
the-
you gonna do it?
I'm actually undefeated in trivia when you've been out sick a couple times. I lost one. I'm sorry. I lost in the Star Wars one to the incredible Star Wars trivia guy. If you're listening, I'm sorry I don't remember your name. And I consider myself a Star Wars nerd, but he crushed me.
Yeah.
But I'm like 6-1 doing trivia. in the times I've done
I
it.
play 5 times a week.
I understand, but I'm saying my record's my record. I can only play who I go against and get my record. That's what it is.
Wow, you're an inspiration.
Are you gonna have a stroke?
Yeah, Gandhi over here.
Oh, by the way, Clash with Kenzie, sponsored by the Schaumburg Boomers.
Feel the boom.
For tickets, visit boomersbaseball.com. So the Bush tickets on the line. You get $100 of Live Nation concert cash, which sounds so cool. Concert cash sounds awesome. And you can do that to buy more tickets when you win the free ones for your friends at the Bush show or any Live Nation show the rest of the year. Plus, just for playing today, you get Trap tickets, the new M. Night Shyamalan movie, and that'd be Laura checking in from Chicago. Laura, ahoy, tell us something really quick about yourself.
Ahoy. Hi. Again, my name is Laura, and I manage a chiropractic office here in Chicago, and I just had to text my boss and let him know that I'm going to be late because I'm playing Clash with Kenzie.
Hell yes. So someone's in a lot of pain waiting for you to get there.
You need a note like we're a doctor. We should start sending out notes for people who are going to be late.
Someone said there, now my back's like an L right now. Someone needs to fix it. Laura's not here yet. We can't do it.
And she's trying to figure out what planet question was the answer to the planet question is. It's going to be tough. She's going to be late.
All right, well, let's get you going here. Let's go right now. First one to 5 wins. Listen carefully. If Kenzie gets one wrong, you can steal a point. And she can do the same to you. Call heads or tails, Laura.
Tails.
It is tails. Coin toss has killed Kenzie this week.
Because my back hurts.
Okay, question number 1, Laura. Who wrote How the Grinch Stole Christmas?
Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss is right. Kenzie, Morpheus, the Greek god of dreams, was the inspiration for what drug name?
I'm going to say morphine.
Morphine is right. And I've heard there's a lot of good dreams. Ever been on morphine? You ever been on that?
Yeah.
That's the good.
I have.
You have
Good
too?
stuff.
All three of us have been on morphine.
It's awesome.
Not recreational, by the way.
No. But I understood the appeal after I was on it.
I was like, woohoo, we should take this out. I've never felt happier, and that's not good.
No, it isn't.
Not good.
No.
All right, 1-1 back to Laura.
Laura, in 1975, an engineer created the first electronic camera while working for what company?
Polaroid.
Not Polaroid.
Well, that's a very good guess. I wouldn't have thought about that, but then throwing that in the mix would have made me probably guess that. I'm going to say Kodak, though.
Kodak's the other one. That's right, Kodak. So Kenzie's got 2.
That's right, and it's back to her.
Kenzie, which NFL team actually plays their games in New York State?
Oh, this is funny. This is kind of funny.
I can't wait to laugh.
Uh-huh.
Because it's the Bills.
That's right.
And everybody else, it's like the New York Jets and stuff, and they're in Jersey.
Right.
But it's the Buffalo Bills, and they're the ones in New York. It's just funny. I know Buffalo's in New York, but I'm saying it's kind of funny because you would think that they're the ones that played not in the state.
They're not called New York. Like New York Giants, New York Jets play
That's
in the
what I mean.
Meadowlands.
It's just ironic. Those are the two that don't. I don't know. It's
Also, a
just
little
funny.
bit unfair, that question with the Kenzie, because our boss is like the biggest Buffalo Bills fan
It
ever.
doesn't mean I go to the stadium with them.
But
the hell? You can't talk about football with our boss ever?
Well, you can't get around him without talking about the Buffalo Bills. That's all he talks about.
Maybe we should both get a point for that.
Okay, we'll take it back. No, we won't. She's got it.
Unfortunately, Laura, you still have 1, but it is back to you.
Laura, stay with a sports question here. The Golden State Warriors call what state home?
California.
California's right. Laura's got 2. Back to Kenzie. A lot of sports questions in a row. I just go in order. They've been given.
Yeah.
From 2013 to 2022, Kenzie, what soft drink sponsored the Super Bowl halftime show?
Pepsi.
Pepsi did. Who does it now?
Apple Music.
Apple
Do I get
Music.
another point?
No, you did not.
Well, wasn't the Michael Jackson commercial where his hair started on fire? That was Pepsi, but that wasn't a Super Bowl. I thought it was a Super Bowl commercial for some reason.
that was
It
just
was a
Pepsi
Pepsi commercial. He was getting ready for his world tour. It messed it up.
It ruined the world tour.
The world
This is going to ruin the world tour.
That was the closest I ever came to saying the F word live on the air. I was like, whoa, where am I?
Yeah.
All right, well, bad news for you, Laura. Kenzie has 4, you have 2, but it is back to you.
Laura,
Okay.
what channel did Chappelle's show air during its initial run? So the Chappelle show back in the day. What channel?
Yikes. I'm going to say HBO.
It was not HBO. Probably should have been on HBO.
That makes sense.
But it was not. Kenzie for the win.
I'm going to say Comedy Central.
It was Comedy Central. And that's where you saw pushing the boundaries of cable TV.
At first was there. Yeah.
I could not believe that was on Comedy Central. But it was pay TV technically, so they said, hey, it's still paying for it.
Hey-o.
Listen, Laura, I'm sorry you were the first victim this week of Kenzie.
It's all right.
But you,
I'm
know,
happy
Still did
about it.
good.
but you know what we're going to do? We're going to give you the passes to go see that new M. Night Shyamalan movie that's supposed to be incredible. All his movies are. It's called Trap. And so hang on. We'll give you passes to that, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. And fix that person's back who's been waiting a while. All right. So then coming up after Bob Moses, everybody listening has a chance at the Bush tickets and $100 in Live Nation concert cash. This is amazing. You can use that cash to buy more tickets to Bush because you'll have the free ones and your friends can come along, even though you're going to get a pair of tickets, or any Live Nation show for the rest of the year. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
So we got our winners of the Bush tickets. Remember, tomorrow, 7:10, make sure you're here for that. And the $100 in Live Nation concert cash, where you can use for any show with Live Nation for the rest of the year. That is so cool. That this just concert cash laying around ready for a show.
Well, especially just any show, because I think a lot of times when you want to win, you're like, oh, they're not giving away tickets to this one, or not as many to this one. It's like, doesn't even matter. Just use the concert cash.
And we all know how expensive shows are, so it's great to have. And listen, I'm just glad I could be here today to do this for you. For the last hour and 45 minutes, I didn't think I would. To be here on the show and continue. Because something happened right before we went on the air. It took me out, but I said, you know what? I was inspired by the great history of Chicago and the great Michael Jordan and his flu game to stay here in it and fight. And I think we've had a great show so far. I think it's been awesome. I hope people have loved it.
If you're about to say what I think you're about to say, I cannot deal with you.
Well, get ready to deal with something. Because I start the show every day the same way. We all walk in the studio. I run and get some green tea, some hot green tea out front to get my throat ready to rock. And
Throat goat.
that's right.
To get your throat ready to rock.
If I had a nickel.
What entails your throat being ready to rock?
Green tea.
Okay.
That's right. And Case, the
I
producer.
have throat lube if you ever want to use it.
That's what I've heard.
It makes it numb. I know it's exactly what you're thinking, Case.
You have the Costco
It
size for that one.
numbs your throat, and it's awesome.
So I go out of the studio, it's on the corner, and Case, the producer, prints something out. So every day we pass in the hallway before we walk in. And I start telling him, what was I talking about?
Can I say what you were talking about?
I can't remember.
You were talking about a competing radio show, and you just started telling me what they were doing. And you got so angry that you injured yourself in the process.
Well, listen,
Wait. Before. Hold on. Was he angry because they got something we didn't get, or was he angry because it's bad? Because he gets angry when other radio stations do stupid stuff,
yes,
too.
Luckily, he was telling me about something stupid that somebody else did, which I agreed. That's why you should keep it here on 101.1.
I always get happy when I'm like, oh, good, that was a bad idea. And Brian gets angry.
Much like Michael Jordan, if you watch The Last Dance, I have to come in here and be angry at all the other radio stations to do the show. Because
luckily we are.
Yeah. Like Tom Brady said, too, like, what'd he say about me? What'd they do? And I have to get that level every morning of adrenaline to do the show right.
Basically, this morning, another morning show did a bit, and Brian decided to take that personally.
Every morning, that's what it is. And I have to do that. That's how I operate. That's how I have to do it. So I'm telling Case about this, and I have this tea mug that's not my normal mug. My one cracked. It broke. This one I found on my desk. I don't know how it got on my desk, because this is like an Instagram model's type of...
Oh, is it the motivation in a cup and the cursive writing with the stars around it?
Yeah, it says motivation in a mug.
Oh, sorry.
Would you ever see me with this mug buying
I've seen
this?
you with it for like 3 months.
Because the other one broke and I didn't get a new one. I had a Chicago flag mug and I had a White Castle mug. They all broke.
What are you doing to them?
I guess the hot tea gets through them, eventually just wears them out.
Wow, okay.
So as I'm talking, this one's wider and has a bad finger holder of the mug.
Because it's made for women. It's not made for your massive claws.
It's made for dainty ladies. That's why.
That's unfortunate.
There's a hearts and stars circling the word motivation.
I don't know why I haven't replaced it yet. So I'm telling Case, and I'm getting angry, telling him about the competing radio station thing, and the cup slips down my hand. I don't even realize it. And it starts pouring hot tea on my foot with my Nikes on, and it goes right through. I didn't feel it at first because I'm so adrenaline rushed, I didn't feel it.
You didn't notice, and you're talking to me, and you're going. I go, Brian, you're pouring tea on your foot.
and I just got it from the thing, so it was piping hot. And then I look down, and I go, ow! Ow! And I realized whatever that other radio station was doing wasn't as important as a third-degree burn on my toe. And
it's just unbelievable. And by the way I would like to just dissect Brian's breakdown is the mug tipped and the mug poured hot water in his foot.
That's right.
Not the human being holding it.
Thank you for the correct play-by-play.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
This mug, that must be from Beauty and the Beast because it has a mind from its own.
I don't know where it came from, but it burned so bad my toe turned red. And if you want to see it, Case has a video up on our Facebook and Instagram.
You can see Brian's injured foot, but more importantly, and the thing that's been coming through on the text line from the people that have seen the video is they can see how you tried to remedy it, which not only is not going to help your foot, you might have hurt the interior of this very building that we work in.
I just started, Kenzie, you didn't see because you were in here. I started pouring cold water on my bare foot on the carpet outside our studio.
Why would you do that?
Well,
There's a huge spot on the carpet.
It hurt. It'll dry up. It's water.
It's the squirt emoji. It's the same principles.
Brian squirted all over his foot to try to make it feel better.
It did feel better. And
He was trying to coat his throat, and instead he squirted on his foot.
I brought Kenzie's throat lube and put it on the foot.
That stuff works. If you ever need it.
Well, so I just put my shoe back on. I had a bare foot for the first hour and 45 minutes of the show, and I just put my shoe back on. I think it feels pretty good. I'm ready to keep the game going. I'm ready to keep this flu game going. It'll be a memorable day here, July 17th. With Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and the podcast is here for you to listen back on the greatness of the show.
Do you still have your shoe off? I've had to deal with Bigfoot over here all day.
No, it's back on now.
Oh, good.
It's back on now. So thank you for your support, and I just do the best I can every day, and this is how I live my life, and it's probably not mentally good to do.
No, Brian, I want to thank you. Thank you for fighting.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, I appreciate it.
I wish you would have called in like Michael Scott. I would have loved. Look, we all got to go home, right?
Well, speaking of that, we always have a reference to The Office from whatever happens, and this is when Michael grilled his foot with the George Foreman grill. Remember this?
It's unforgettable.
I hurt my foot.
Pam.
I want to come to work, but I need you to come and pick me up.
Oh, God!
Hey, whoa, Michael.
Oh, God!
It's okay. It's Jim. Just say again really loudly what happened.
Okay, I burned my foot very badly on my Foreman grill, and I now need someone to come and bring me into work.
You burned your foot on a Foreman grill.
I enjoy having breakfast in bed. I like waking up to the smell of bacon. Sue me. And since I don't have a butler, I have to do it myself. So, most nights before I go to bed, I will lay 6 strips of bacon out on my George Foreman grill. Then I go to sleep. When I wake up, I plug in the grill. I go back to sleep again. Then I wake up to the smell of crackling bacon. It is delicious. It's good for me. It's a perfect way to start the day. Today, I got up, I stepped onto the grill, and it clamped down on my foot. That's it. I don't see what's so hard to believe about that.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning, and Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.